G'day YouTube, Ranger of Oz and Ranger of Nights here again, and we're going back into Kamen Rider for a little bit, only this time we're taking a couple of steps back. We're going back in time, we're jumping in the TARDIS, we're powering up the DeLorean, we're hitting 88 miles an hour, and we are going back in time to the, let's see if I can remember this correctly, because I don't think I can. I think it
The
was
2000,
the
the 2005.
35th anniversary 35th anniversary of Kamen Rider?
Yes,
30th
yes,
anniversary?
yes.
Yes, 35th anniversary of Kamen Rider with Kamen Rider Kabuto. Now, I watched this when it aired. For a while, it was my favorite Kamen Rider series until Double came along. It was my first rider, so, it's
The
always
rider
going to
that
hold a...
popped your sherry.
It is, yes. It popped my rider cherry, yes. So it's always going to have a special place in my heart. So I didn't need to rewatch this. I can still remember a fair few things about it, especially the important points. Ranger of Nights, on the other hand, marathoned in like 3 days.
2.
2 days. Skipping
Yes.
a few episodes apparently, which I'm not exactly happy about. But okay, you don't think you need to see all the episodes,
I
you don't
just
think you need to
kept
see all the
things
episodes.
like the TOEFL for competition. I don't need to see Tando and the rich guy fighting about who do better TOEFL.
Hey, that's your decision. You want to go for that? You want to go for that. Now, I'm going to remain silent for most of this, I think.
Oh no,
This
man!
is...
Don't torture
Uh,
the people with my English.
I think a lot of this is going to be Ranger of Nights show because, like I said, this is for those of you who have watched some of the stuff I've done on Angel Grove Radio, YouTube, you might know Trevor's Toku rants, in which we take a guy who has never really watched a lot of, Japanese tokusatsu and sit him down in front of like the original Godzilla films and Super Sentai and Kamen Rider and Ryukendo and all that sort of stuff and see what he thinks with it. This, I think, unless we go into stuff like Kuya, Agito, Blade, Faiz, um, Hibiki, uh, and further back in the Showa era, the original Kamen Rider,
I watched
V3.
the first episode of the original one. The original one is me watching the original series, but only if I only found the first episode.
Yeah, but if we go back into some of that older stuff, yeah, I'll probably have something to say. But for the moment, we're seeing things that I've seen. In which case, this is the opinion of Ranger of Nights. So, my fuzzy little
Yes.
friend, take it away.
Okay, choose the categories. See the good, I say the good, and then you see the bad. You know.
Yeah, we could do. If I can remember the bad, yeah, we could do that.
I mean, make it like an interview. You ask me some question about what I think, and I say it.
All right. Well, do you want to do a synopsis first, or do you want me to do a synopsis first?
Yes, do it.
Okay. Quick synopsis of Kamen Rider Kabuto by Ranger of Oz, who hasn't seen it in a while. Aliens called worms have landed on the planet via asteroid, wiped out an entire city, and they can
Not
they
city,
can
city
turn in
area from
a
Tokyo, not the city.
chunk of Tokyo.
Yes,
And they can pretend to be people they kill and take on their, the body of people they kill. It's not a
and their
new
memory,
thing for Kamen Rider.
and
And their
their
memories.
memory.
That's not a new thing for. And their memories. That's not a new thing for Kamen Rider either. I'm pretty sure it's been done a couple of times before. Anyway,
After first,
we find out.
35 years, you can do anything that good, that new. You know?
I don't know. I don't know. They've never really done a homage to a Western detective show before Drive. That was pretty new.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, I mean from the bad guy side, the evil plan. From Drive is still bad guy, slow time. Is not that damn things Kabuto guys do?
no, they don't slow down time. They go faster than the eye can see. It just seems like, excuse me, it just seems like they slow down time.
Yeah, still more cool.
Anyway, the worms are among us. They're evil. They want to kill us all and take our place and blah 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 blah. And
But you forget there is the original worms that are not from outside.
I'm getting to that. They don't show up till
Just
later in the series, dude. Come on.
okay,
Let's
okay.
keep in chronological order for once. How about that?
One from the series, every event is you can't remember what come first. You know, you just watch it completely, so the order confused you. You
Well, if you
understand?
actually let me get through the synopsis, I would have gotten to it without you mentioning it. But you keep
Okay,
interrupting me.
okay, continue.
Funny that.
Eh,
So, we have these worms, evil, want to replace everything, blah blah blah, and the only thing in there standing in their way is Zect. I don't remember if that actually stands for anything, but
I don't remember
Zect.
either.
They have developed a system called the Rider system, which allows them to
The
um,
the Mask Rider.
masked rider system, same poopy, different smell. Um, to fight them. Only the first the system isn't working. They can't find anyone to go with it. Enter Tendo Soji. Let's see if I remember the proper transformation. Walking the path of heaven, he who rules over all. That is his
Uh,
introduction. With the
dude, bro, call him the finger guy and just the finger guy.
the finger guy.
The guy that's
For you,
always putting his finger.
for you, he's the finger guy. For me, he's Tendo. It's like, in certain things you might have a name for someone, and it's like the Red Overdrive Ranger. For you, he's the Red Overdrive Ranger. For me, who watched Bokenja, he's Chief. That's just how he is.
Oh, I think about him. The guy was precious. Like everyone say, it's precious. The, the precious
uh,
guy, I call him. That's
yes,
him, the precious guy, right?
yes, Chief, yes. Anyway,
The precious.
so Tendo has a belt which I don't think is really all that well explained. If I remember correctly, they don't really explain where he got the belt for the rider system, but anyway, he has a belt, and with that, he can summon the Kabuto Zector to become Kamen Rider Kabuto. Nobody knows how he knows so much. Nobody knows how he got the belt. No one knows why the Kabuto Zector goes to him instead of someone that, Zect might actually be able to control. It just goes to this guy that thinks he's destined to rule the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
by his grandmother. Mother.
Oh, yes. He's got a grandmother complex, too. Everything is my grandmother said this.
At least he don't want to fuck her. Just,
Wow, when did this go into squick factor territory?
you said
Don't.
complex. Usually, let's be honest. When Japanese character have the complex list for someone, they want to fuck him.
Not
You don't deny that.
necessarily. Dude, no. Let's just move on. No, that's wrong. No. Anyway, Zect
That's
is
the
this.
most element.
This is an anime, so no. Anyway, this Zect organization is huge. They have their own Zect troopers. They have individual agents, including Kagami. Hang on. Can I say this properly? Can I say it the way it's supposed to be said?
Yeah.
The way that elicits giggles and laughter?
I don't have a nickname for him.
I'm
Say
I'm
it.
gonna say I'm going to say it the way that was eliciting giggles and laughter while this was airing on Ranger Board. Are we all ready? Kagami.
Atari Kagami.
Yeah.
Atari, I think
Which
his first name.
I think, if I remember correctly, his name, part of his name was translating into mirror or reflection or something, which is an interesting way of looking at him. Because he does really end up being a reflection of Tendo. So that's an interesting little tidbit. Anyway, who is, set upon protecting everybody from the worms and beating them up and trying to be a hero, and the son of Zekt's chairman. Yeah, it's one of these situations. Poor guy never
Yes.
gets a break. Not quite as bad as the character in the next Kamen Rider that Ranger of Knights is actually watching at the moment, if I remember
The
correctly.
idiot.
But anyway, so as the thing progresses, we get more characters introduced. We get
Yeah.
more riders introduced. We get the we get the series
Rider Girl.
bicycle. We get the series bicycle in Zabi. Seriously, they had that system had 3 users. It's almost as bad as Fies. Almost. We get Drake, who is a makeup artist, and I'm wondering if maybe Bravo from Kamen Rider Guy went to him to get makeup tips. Yeah, I'm a horrible person. We have Kagami, who is Zabi for a minute. Yeah, I'm continuing. We have Kagami goes to Zabi for a little bit, and then goes on to Gatak, which, as I said, is almost a mirror of Tendo in Kabuto. He's a stag beetle instead of a rhinoceros beetle. There is a similarity with his Zector in that it goes into a belt, and there's a whole bunch of other things, but there's the preferred system from Ranger of Knights because he has the better weapon, apparently.
And the better switch in music.
And the better... It's called a rider kick, dude. Rider
Ah,
kick. It ain't that hard to remember.
okay, I'll try. Still, that Tonduk, he just kick.
I think the thing with Tendo's is that he does it with the guy coming towards him. He turns his... Okay, I want you to imagine something. He's got his back to the guy. He knows the guy's coming. He times it perfectly, and then he gives him a Chuck Norris-style roundhouse kick to the face.
Yeah, still, anyone can do that kick, man. Seriously.
It's the way he does it, though. It's the purely Tendo way, in that he's just this so arrogant and conceited that he knows, okay, this guy's coming. I just have to time this right. What am I saying? I am Tendo effing Soji. I always time everything right. Turns around, kicks the dude in the face. I mean,
Yes.
I remember specifically the first one. He kicks him in the face and he folds. He just poof, drops like a ton of bricks. That was pretty cool. Anyway, after Gatak, you get Sasord, who has some major storyline, a couple of really weird twists, and really hated by the dude down at the bottom of the screen right now.
Yeah, I hate that guy. I told you there are two kind of arrogant people. One because they're rich, and one because they're damn good. Tento is damn good, so I can take him a slick for being arrogant. I hate the arrogant people because I'm rich, guy. And that is one of the reasons I hate that guy. Second, he looked ridiculous with his white suit wearing ass.
And then you find out there is a slightly tragic story behind him in that he is actually a worm that lost its memory.
I didn't feel sorry for his ass.
There was some seriously. If we were to put this on Ranger Board, I think there are a couple of people that would want to come after you with like I don't know, probably Sussword saber toys and sort of beat
I'm
you
in
up with
the
those.
Middle East, motherfuckers. Try come here. I don't live in America or New York. No one from our board lives near me. I'm not afraid of them.
Because if I remember correctly, there were quite a lot of people that liked Sussword. There are a lot of
People
people.
don't have taste. A lot
Anyway,
of people.
after Sussword was introduced, the first and third Zabi come back. Only they have new systems that don't have clock up.
No, no, no. Their mistake in the original one came back, and then Tendo start taking take that guy's
Zector,
the
yeah, right.
key, and then
And
he send him to hell with him.
yeah, yeah. So they come back with new systems that I don't think they have the clock ups. If I remember, I might be wrong. I don't think I remember them ever doing clock up.
Yeah,
As the Hopper brothers, kick and
and
punch.
punch.
Now, this is something that you might not know, Ranger of Knights, so I'm going to say it. This was actually a homage to the original two Kamen Riders, Ichigo and Nigo. They
Yeah,
were rider based, and two of their primary finishes was the rider punch
and the
and the
rider
rider
kick.
kick.
I see.
So and it was actually there was actually a homage hidden in their finisher when they hit the belt the first time and it goes rider jump, and then they hit it again, they go rider kick or rider punch, whatever. The rider jump actually comes from the original theme song.
I see.
This was full of things like that, and you had to squint sometimes to see it, but it was there, and most of
Continue,
the
my friend.
time, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, continue.
So, somewhere along the line, Tendo gets the typical rider power up with the Hyper Zector, which allows him to travel through time and
Battle Rider.
across dimensions. And he gets the perfect Zector, a sword which can attach all of the other Zectors except for Gatak and the Hop, and either be a death cannon of deathly doom or a choppy sword of slicey death.
Yes.
And of course, he's got the typical rider kick.
Yes.
Yeah, he got a bit god modded by that point.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be brutal. He
His ego
traveled.
must be. So his ego was this, and he then becomes this.
Yeah, he travels through time, and that is the point. That is a major plot point for the movie, which I don't know if Ranger of Knights watched.
And, watch, but it was quick.
Okay, so we'll just stick to the main series for now. And then Dark Kabuto is introduced, who is revealed to be a worm of Tendo somehow. And then the chick that works at the restaurant, who always seemed bored on set or something, turns out to be Tendo's sister.
Fiori. His name
Hiyori.
is
That's it.
Fiori. Yes.
That's it. It turns out to be Tendo's sister, and the worm clone of Tendo gets overprotective and tries to hide her away.
Yes.
And that whole scenario gets really confusing for a bit.
That did confuse me.
Um,
See, the worm that taken his mother's memory get married and then get a daughter. He, the
yeah,
the
I get that bit. It just gets a bit like what does this really have to do with? Anyway, um, as we move along, we find out that there is actually a race of worms that were originally from Earth called natives, and they were helping Zect, and they helped build the rider system. And some of the native worms were evil and tried to turn everybody into worms, including Punch Hopper got turned into a worm, and Kick had to kill him, and that was sad. Um,
This that
and
guy was
big
annoying for fart.
battle and big battle with Superworm versus Kabuto and Gatak and explosions and wins and Tendo goes to Paris and finger point. And that's a very simple, off the top of my head summary of everything that happened in Kabuto that was important.
Yeah,
Would have made a great movie, but it was a TV show
yes.
instead. And its ending wasn't shoved into a movie either.
There is a series that was chopped in the movie. What you talking about?
We let's we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Let's just stay with the good Kamen Rider stuff and not the annoying Kamen Rider stuff.
Yes.
That sounds fair.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So the good Tendo, MNF, Soji. Can we agree about
Yes.
that?
It's good. Most
That
of the
guy.
characters are good. Most of the characters. I have problem with them, but for example, my problem. Let's talk about his sister.
Hiyori
His
or the
no, the original one.
oh yes, the
What?
walking stomach.
Yes. Seriously, was she there to just make the viewers feel hungry? She's eaten almost in every scene.
It's basically the only reason she's there is to eat Tendo's cooking.
Don't get me wrong, I like her as her character, but I felt hungry sometime.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
And another kid I liked was the girl with
Ah,
dice.
yes, Daisuke's little offsider. She was pretty cool.
Yeah, a cool psychic.
Yeah,
She was a rider girl more than the real rider girl.
yeah. I mean, I agree. Most of the characters were pretty cool. Some of the characters confused me. The with the Zabis going to the Hopper brothers, they've gone from one extreme to the other,
Yeah,
and
from
it was just like,
especially the kick guy.
yeah, he
Seriously,
went from perfect balance to kill them all now, let God sort them out.
yes,
It
especially
was,
that. Especially, I understand if he lost and disappear and then return like that, but he returned in the traitor storyline, the shadow traitor storyline, where
mm,
there's and he was still was better than he lost his arrogant and he was caring about his team. You know, first he was arrogant,
yeah.
then he lost his arrogance, and he was see, you know, a good guy, and then disappear and return as a crazy motherfucker.
And as with a lot of things, I mean, I like Kabuto. Don't get me wrong, I love Kabuto. But as with many things in Kabuto, the Hopper Zectors are never explained. Ever. Ever. They come from hell, that's it. A place of darkness. I mean,
From
that's
Satan.
it's like, where did Tsurugi get the sword from? Where did Daisuke get the gun handle from? It's never explained. Don't ask. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah. Um, I want to know where he did get that sword.
I want to go. I want one. I want
Do you know why? To go and
what?
slap the motherfucker that gave him that sword.
Now I
That's
have to
very good.
ask. I have to ask you one thing. With Tsurugi, is it with the sword? Is it just the character you don't like, or do you not like the suit as well? Because I kind of like the suit.
Yeah, I like the sword. I don't like him.
I mean, I don't like the scorpion tail hanging off, but in his masked form, in the armored form, that looked pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't like the guy.
Yeah. So most of the characters were pretty good, and even the ones that weren't good,
They're they're not
they
that
weren't
bad.
they weren't horrible. They had personalities.
Yes, annoying ones, but they're not bland.
No, they're not
Bland.
bland. They're not say their only personality trait isn't say a hatred of plastic bottles or don't let go of your weapons.
That's Troy.
Yep, that's Troy. So it had good character. The story for the most part was
And had a
okay.
good twist
What we got of it was good.
and a good change in mechanic for the main characters.
Yeah, it had some twists. It was, some swinging, things swing back and forth.
For example, that I have a question for you. It just may be me, but when you first the first episode, and before the pattern were turned to become Kabuto, did you not thought Kajima was the main character of the series?
I thought he was because I hadn't seen any of the scans or anything. I of that back in those days I
After,
avoided those sort of
yeah, I'm
things.
talking about how the character was going, how his
Yeah,
character was written. You
it
thought he's the
seemed
main
it did seem like he was the main character, and
because
a lot of people at the time were saying he kind of was. Let me just explain this. All right,
I know
Kagami.
what you.
The whole thing is really the story of Kagami's journey with Tendo as this sort of distant mentor sort of thing. I mean,
Yes,
yeah, he's the main character, but he doesn't change really.
yeah, he's from the start. He's still the finger doing this.
He's still from start to finish. He's the same arrogant guy. Got the same motivations. He's very straightforward. Kagami, on the other hand, goes through several shifts and changes and learns some valuable lessons that turned him from the rookie who really didn't know what he was doing to this reliable, skilled combatant and a worthy Kamen Rider. So, in a way, if you squint, Kagami's
He's the
actually
main
kind of the
character.
main character.
Yes. Too bad he didn't get the goal in the end. Damn, motherfucker.
Ah, well, can't always you can't always get that lucky.
There were hints, there were signs. It's not just me, right?
No, it definitely looked like he was going to get the girl at the end. It just doesn't turn out the way you would expect
Yes.
because this is Kamen Rider,
Japanese don't, not
and
because Japanese.
that too.
And Japanese always annoy me about romantic storylines.
So, Yeah, the story, what you saw of it, was good. However,
Yes. Preach,
there
my
were
friend.
there was a lot of the story missing. There was a lot of the story missing.
Yes.
Where did Tendo get the belt from? All we know is that he was apparently given to him by the sun.
The sun?
The sun. He explains in at some point. You obviously missed that particular episode.
Yeah, which is the in the air. You see it in the sky. That
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
If any, I would thought if I was the writer, I would said his grandmother.
Now, if you watch the movie, there is a scene at the end of that where
Where
Tendo uses the hyperzector to travel back in time.
and give himself the belt.
Yes. And a lot of people think that that is the beginning of the series. That is where the Tendo that we know gets the belt.
That makes more sense than the sun did it.
I don't think it was ever confirmed or denied either way, so we don't have any kind of um,
See, my
word of
opinion,
God.
my opinion, take the more logical theory and accept it, and that is the most logical one. So then,
Yeah.
if they said nothing, if they didn't deny it, accept it. You
I
understand?
I think there is another theory that a worm gave it to him or something. I don't know. It's just what happened. It's never explained. Same as with Tsurugi getting the sword, never explained. Hoppers, never explained. Dark
The so,
Kabuto actually kind of explained.
I think the sword fin can't be explained. I have a theory for it.
Okay.
Didn't say that the original worms, the native Hauptsack, built these things.
Yeah.
Is not him original worm. Scrooge is the original worm.
No, he didn't have the Kabuto horn on his head in his larval worm state, if I remember correctly. He was one of the ones that came down on the asteroid.
I see. I was not sure what kind of worm he is.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that kills people.
I see.
Hmm. Anyway, Drake, we don't know how he gets his either. His gun grip, it just appears. There are a lot of things that happen in this movie that don't make a lot of sense. In this series that don't make a lot of sense.
I see.
And if it's one of those situations where you're sitting down and you're watching it and you have a nostalgia critic style explain explosion. Just explain.
I think
It's never actually covered. So that's a downer on it. I mean, the story's good, but it's not finished by
that's
any
perfect.
stretch of the imagination.
But nothing is perfect.
Nothing's perfect. No,
Yeah.
nothing is perfect. Um, so you've got that. I think that's basically all we can talk about it. It was a fun series, though. It was a little bit dark sometimes,
You
a little
know,
bit
in my
creepy.
opinion,
Go for it.
this series suffered from two damn riders.
Yeah, too many
They need,
writers.
they needed three.
Yeah.
To facilitate the work. The lone wolf rider,
Mhm.
Hondo,
Mhm.
the guy from the what's the name of the origination
Zect.
that want to help him, Kojima,
Kagami, yep.
and the crazy motherfucker that want to destroy them too, the hop guy.
The Hoppers, yeah.
Yeah, that they only need. They don't need the sword guy or the drag guy. They don't affect the story that important.
No.
They needed only three. This is not Super Sentai. You don't need to build a team.
Hibiki was bad at that to a point. Gaim had a fair few riders in it. Blade had four main riders.
Yeah.
Ryuki was horrible with that. There were like 13 of them.
What?
Yeah. I haven't actually sat down and watched the entire thing, but I think it was like 13 riders in Ryuki.
That's the first one in the new era.
No, first one of the new era was Kuga, and there was only one in that one.
One? I
One.
see. Why
Uno.
did let me see it?
So, yeah, so, alright, final verdict. Kamen Rider Kabuto, what do you think, Ranger of Knights?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yes.
I could agree with that. I'd actually go 7.5 out of 10, but that half point is like nostalgia, I suppose.
Yes.
The
I'm
nostalgia
still annoyed
goggles being
about
on.
that. I was still annoyed about no Masaki Kagumi's win. Seriously, her ending, she's what she's doing in the epilogue. She's
It's
running
yeah,
running
running
that
the company, yeah.
what first first
Rebuilding Tsurugi's family, yes.
dude why she have the right to run the company in the first place?
I don't know. I think the two of them were going to get horizontal or vertical. No, horizontal. Two of them were going to get horizontal before they found out he was a worm or something.
Uh,
I don't know. It was
seriously, that
weird.
it was stupid. Seriously, the most awkward guy in the series get the girl.
Hey, there's a chance for you after all.
Don't worry, I'm in the Middle East. Anyone can get a girl here. Seriously, it's not that hard to get a girl in the Middle East. Your family choose one and you.
All right, and with that, I think we are done. Okay, so we liked it. Would we recommend it? I would.
Me too.
So you've got two recommendations from us here at Ranger of Oz Productions. Yes, I named it after myself. uh,
Yes.
now, Ranger of Knights, what is the current Kamen Rider you are watching? What is the current series you are watching?
The one of the series has a name. Wonder, I'm stupid because that guy is stupid. Seriously.
Ah, are you talking about the unluckiest man in the world?
Yes. I'm stupid. I have bad luck and everyone wants to fuck my sister. Seriously.
Kamen Rider Deno. Oh, you are so going to get hung if that is your opinion by the end of the series.
I told you before, I'm in the Middle East. No one can get me.
Oh, the Deno has some fans, mate. They will track you
In the Middle
down.
East?
Yes, they won't need to be in. They will hop a plane and they will hunt you down. They will come after you. Deno was
Man.
popular. If you're going to rip at that, you good luck. Anyway, with that, the next one
Yeah,
of these.
thinking the main character is an idiot, that will not stop me from enjoying the series itself, man.
And anyway, with that, we will have another Kamen Rider Drive review like
Tomorrow.
Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. Depends on when Overtime gets the sub up.
Yes.
So we'll have that. We will have Deno whenever Ranger of Knights finishes it.
The same time this next week.
This time next week. This time next
I
week.
think
You heard it.
I think this is a good time for the series to
All right,
be.
no worries. Well, this time next week, Ranger of Knights will be giving us his report on Deno. Remember to actually watch the movie because it's connected directly to the series.
That's the series that punched the ending in the movie, right?
No, 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 no. The movie for Deno happens in between two episodes.
Which one? So I watched the movie after the episode.
I can't remember, but there will be tie-ins. Zig and Wingform will show up, and that'll be how you know that that's when you go to the movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it leads into the mid-season power-ups, so watch the movie as well for that one.
Okay.
Okay, with that, we will catch you guys next time. This is Ranger of Oz and Ranger of Knights signing off. Stay out of trouble, kids.
Yes. Don't do anything I will do.